What if I told you that if you take on one more client project, you could be potentially trashing your future unless you understand the terminology of opportunity cost. In this video, I'm gonna go ahead and explain the best I can. So let's lock in, get some value, and jump straight into it. Opportunity cost. This is a very important point in business. And it simply just means if we're in the business of selling websites, we can only do so much websites per month, right? Because it's us doing it. We don't have infinite time, infinite knowledge, infinite, etc., right? Yes, we can hire a team, but let's just say we're a solo person doing everything. We only have so much time. Therefore, what project should I take? Should I take a project that's ready to go for $5,000? Or should I just, cancel that project and work on my social media posting, which we know might not have an immediate effect, but it might have a medium to long-term effect. Perhaps I can keep growing my social media followers and in the future, invest in building a course and then promoting on this social media platform, right? That's thinking long-term, right? Whereas the first one is just like ready to take 5,000, let's go. But should we consider, no, maybe I should spend my time elsewhere. Third one, should I just work on making a course, which is, it's a homage to what I'm doing now. Took a long time to make this course. I'm still filming it. I still don't even know where it's gonna head. I don't know, but if you're watching this, I really appreciate you. And that takes a long time. That's gonna eat up, some of your immediate client work time. You might neglect clients. You might have to stop taking so many clients, etc. These are the questions you need to think of. In a nutshell, opportunity cost is if I take project A, then I won't be able to take project B because I have such limited time. Therefore, what should I take? Should I take project A or project B? On this case, should I do option 1, 2, or 3? How do we answer these questions, right? You're the boss, apparently. You're the freelance business guy. Who do you go to? No one, it's yourself. So how can we start answering these questions? Well, we need to start thinking, what are our short-term goals? What is our medium-term goals? And what's our long-term goals? So some short-term goals could be finalizing our portfolio site and setting up our accounting. And it could be doing some sort of marketing strategy and posting in order to potentially land 3 clients. And perhaps it could be reaching $5,000 per month, right? What happens when that's exceeded? Do we just keep doing that? Do we increase, how much money we're expected to get? I hope so. Medium-term goals. I want to start attracting bigger clients now because I started this first year, I kind of wet my feet, I kind of learned everything. I feel like I can attract better clients because I have better testimonials and I have better case studies, Also, how can I start thinking of like recurring my income? Instead of taking project work, can I just go to an existing client which already knows me, already trusts me, already knows I give value, and can I pitch them an idea through a sales call on how they can win from my pitch? For example, I'll offer you SEO ongoing services. And by that, in general, that may attract you more customers and therefore generate you more profit, right? So like some sort of retainer plan. Or should I just grow my social media channel? Should I start investing? I know it's gonna take me ages to get followers or people are not even gonna discover me, but it's better that I get started now than later. Or should I learn a new skill or technique to offer more value? For example, maybe I'll take time off work, maybe not take as many clients. And instead, I'll just work on improving my skills in regards to Webflow development. Maybe there's a new technology like GSAP animation. Maybe I should learn that so I can make better animations and I can offer a better product or service and therefore charge more. But you need the time to invest in doing that, right? Then the ultimate long-term goals. Examples could be, perhaps I can create a course because now I have the experience, I have the clients to back it up. Perhaps I have enough saved up that I can go ahead and try out this investment that may or may not work. And in the future, if it does work, it will generate me additional income. And all the marketing that I did in my medium-term goal, I can leverage that to sell this course, right? Who's saying this? Who's telling you to do this? You know what I mean? You're gonna start thinking like this. And perhaps I should hire someone to free up my time because I hate writing emails or I hate sending proposals. I hate doing the small tasks of coding the website. I just like, designing the bigger picture. Maybe I can hire someone to help me do these things. And because I know basic accounting skills, I can factor that into my cost and I'll still make profit. In fact, I'll probably make more profit because I'm taking more risk, that is managing these new employees. And lastly, perhaps I can think of a new business idea or revenue stream, or I can start innovating and doing something no one else has done in order to create more revenue. These goals that we need to start thinking of. And if you're doing a solo freelancing business, who's gonna come up with this? Maybe you can talk to your friends who are also business owners, but these are the type of things that like a CEO does, like the chief executive officer, the boss, the top guy. He starts to think, what are the medium and long-term goals? How can we reach this? He's not thinking short-term, you know what I mean? Someone else does that. So interesting points, right? And I just want to put one more analogy, because I kind of said this in the introduction video. If you remember from like an employee, I've certainly seen this somewhat with my own eyes. Like an employee that is stuck in their role for like 20 years. They have never been promoted. They're probably losing money because of inflation. But why are they not being promoted? Because there is no medium or long-term goal that their manager or their boss should really be looking at for the employee. They're not doing it because it's a lot of work to think about your employees and think about their future. When in your head, you may say, this employee may screw me over, or I'll just hire someone else cheaper and younger. You know what I mean? So that is something you have to take on. That is a risk that no one talks about. Whether you get paid hourly an employee, you may complain about your pay, but consider this. Have you thought about your medium and long-term goals? You need to start thinking of this. Ideally, if you have a great boss, which I praise God I did, he started thinking about me, medium and long term. This is the type of thing we need to think about. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video on opportunity cost, and I hope you understand the importance of opportunity cost in business. And if you really think about the word opportunity cost and you remove business from it and you apply it to just everyday life, it's like the analogy which you may have heard before. We all have 24 hours. What do we do with our time? You know, do we A, go to the gym, or do we B, eat junk food, or do we C, hang out with friends, or D, do we take, higher education? How do we make these decisions? And from my understanding, having short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals really help you towards what you want. Because from my understanding, you cannot have everything at once, and by making one decision, you directly sacrifice another decision. And that's the scary part when you become a freelance person. You have to make these decisions essentially for yourself if you're a solo freelancer. Anyways, I talk about more of this and business in my freelance and business course, so feel free to check that out in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.